Hello, everybody. Jim Malone coming to you live on Dallas Trading Floor. Hope everyone's doing well today. It is a Monday, and just wanted to. Been a tough ride today. Wow, the market has moved lower. Boy, I tell you, oil has moved higher, and and the market has moved lower. So boy, go figure. This is definitely the beginning probably of an inflation cycle. So who knows what's going to happen? I just want to kind of show you kind of what I've been doing. I've been moving, of course, as you know, I've been moving out of the techs and I've been moving into some other stuff. So without further ado, let's get into some of the slideshow. Basically, the Dow is off, down about 2.38%. Not looking too good. S&P down as well. We are also looking at a decline in the NASDAQ. It was off 3%. So, boy, I tell you, the techs are getting punished, but there is a ray of hope because there are some stocks that are doing well. So, you just gotta go from there. Volatility went back up, unfortunately, today, and it's just right now the market is very unsure with this war in Ukraine. It's not doing good stuff for the market. People are headed for safety, and and the commodity prices. That seems to be where the action is. Anyways, here's what I've been doing, and that is first of all, I want to show you kind of what I have currently, and I've actually doing fairly well. One of my largest holdings is Cheniere Energy. Also, I'm in Matador. That's a oil and gas company that was up today. Nutrien. This is my best holding. If you watch the TikTok, you'll know that we definitely had pretty good action on that today. Williams Company doing well as well. That is a oil and gas pipeline, mainly gas. That is doing well. Raytheon, of course, they make missiles, and they're off a little bit today, but I do think they will go higher. Northern Oil and Gas, that's a oil and gas company, as is the name. Berkshire Hathaway, that's kind of my safety play. They also own a railroad. Callon Petroleum, I did buy a position in Callon Petroleum today. It's up about 10 cents. And I bought a position also at CSX, that's a railroad. And then late today, I bought a position in FNV. And I want to kind of go over that chart with you. This is a Franco Nevada gold. FMV is the symbol on it. Gold has been doing very, very well for a lot of reasons. It does finally seem like we're moving out of a lot of the crypto space into some of the golds. That just seems to be sort of what's going on here. It's up after hours a little bit, just about 8 cents. I bought in right at about 163.29, which probably might have been a little bit high. It's pulled back a little bit. What I was looking at here was the all-time sort of the high that it made back here in July. So that was when it sort of hit its high. Not a perfect. I'll be honest with you. This was not a perfect buy on a buy point. Normally, I don't buy extended like this. So we'll see. I set the stop loss fairly tight, fairly tight here at basically the stop loss is at 160.80. So it's a very, very tight stop loss. We'll see how it opens tomorrow. But I do believe that this is likely to go higher just based on everything that's going on here right now. I want to kind of show you a sort of how I'm looking at Bitcoin. And what I do is I use the GBTC. This is the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. I want to show you this because I do think that there's a shift going on here from Bitcoin and other crypto assets into gold. Okay, why do I say that? Well, Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, which holds about 4% of the world's Bitcoin, has been in a downward trend. It also had the death cross, so it is going lower. I do believe the primary beneficiaries of this are going to be the gold stocks. Now, there is an ETF called GLD, which tracks the price of gold. And that has been it's been sort of anemic, but I do think that we're going to start to see it kind of make a move. And I want to show you the daily chart for GLD, and it has moved above the buy zone. We're starting to see gold move strongly. The after hours, it was up, not a lot, about 26 cents, but but it is looking like it's looking like it is going to go higher. So there is definitely a move. It seems like there's a move from Bitcoin and some of the crypto assets into the golds. Now, if you just want to do the gold directly, you can go with GLD. That's the Spider Select Gold Share ETF. It's very easy to buy. But I do recommend not the gold, but the gold miners. And of that, I do like FNV probably the best, because this is not a mining company. This is a company that owns stakes in producing gold mines. So this one is profitable right now. And I do think we're going to see a nice run up in terms of its profits. Currently, FNV is going to be reporting in 2 days. So I may have screwed the pooch here. I may be a little bit too early. That's one of the reasons I set that stop loss so tightly, was because we are going to come through earnings, and that may be causing a downtrend tomorrow. But I do expect that their results probably will be quite good. They were currently, with the price of gold, there is a strong cash flow in this stock. Now, the PE ratio currently is 45, which is very, very high, especially, it's kind of like a tech stock, kind of like a tech stock PE. But I think with the increased demand for gold, and it's going to be significant, we're going to see a significant demand for gold, that I think that we might see a big move up in this particular area. I wanted to show you stocks that are working, because here we are talking about stocks that don't work. I want to show you some stocks that are working. One of them that moved up very nicely today was Mosaic, MOS. That is a fertilizer company. And also there's Nutrien. I own Nutrien and not Mosaic. It also moved up very strongly, up about 4% today. So I'm going to probably be pushing my stop loss up, because I do expect it will pull back, and I want to be taken out at the profit at the highest level that I can. Also, WLL, Whiting Petroleum, there is going to be some action probably in the Permian Basin. This is where Whiting is. WLL up very nicely today. Many of the oil stocks are doing very, very well. WLL and also Cactus. This is also an oil company as well. Eagle Bulk Shipping, EGLE, up very strongly today. This is a play on dividends. So let's look and see kind of what they're expecting. EGLE. This is not, this is a shipper, and you think, God, why would you want to ever buy a shipper? Well, I'll show you why. The reason why is the incredible, and I think this is absolutely incredible, cash flow. You see, this has a PE of 5, and it's going to pay 21. So it's a $60 stock with a $21 dividend. That is unbelievable. Basically that's unbelievable. That's a 30% payout. No wonder. It's a return on equity, just incredible. And it does look like they just came through earnings, and they just had this incredible dividend that they paid out. This one was up 146% in terms of their sales, but their profits were off the charts. Right now, bulk shipping is constrained, and we expect that constraint to stay for about another 2 or 3 years. After that, of course, maybe all bets are off. But right now, this is an area that has done well, and stocks like Zim and Golden Ocean also are doing very, very well here. I don't have any exposure to this area. I am looking to get exposure to this area because it seems like it is moving so well. Also wanted to talk to you about several of the construction companies that probably will do well. Fluor, FLR, This is one of the major construction companies. It's based here actually in Irving, Texas. It's one of the largest. I think it is the largest construction company. They mainly are in the constructing large projects like petrochemical plants. And then, of course, there's Halliburton. Halliburton typically is not only is it in the oil business, but it does have a significant private Army support component of the company. It was up strongly today, about 7.41%. And this is a $36 stock. So let's take a look at Halliburton just real quickly here. HAL is the symbol. And let's see, this isn't really in a buyable area either. It is extended currently. So it's probably not the place to buy this, but it has been incredibly strong. Relative strength is 98. Definitely showing that we probably are looking like, unfortunately, more of a war footing, because this stock does well when the war drums are pounding. And I think that's unfortunately the case here. So Halliburton is another one that you might want to kind of consider. Just wanted to show you again the stocks that I have currently. We did add Callum Petroleum, CPE, today. We also added a railroad. Let's go to that one. That's not the largest railroad out there. Union Pacific, of course, is. It came up to a buy point, and then it retreated. So hopefully, we did set the stop loss at the 50-day line, but it does, it did come up to the buy point, and it did retreat. But it has a relative strength of 89. And as you can see, it is moving strongly against the NASDAQ. So what is happening is money is coming out of the NASDAQ. This is this black line here is the line for the NASDAQ, and it's moving into the industrials and cyclicals. SCSX, of course, is in that category. So hopefully we're going to do okay on this one, but we did set our stop loss fairly tight at 35.42. So if we do get a pullback in this, we were wrong, we will be stopped out of this one. But we want to make sure that we get some exposure to the rails. Rails should do very, very well as the price of fuel goes up. As the price of fuel goes up, rails become much more competitive. That's another reason why I have in the small portfolio. That's another reason that I do have Berkshire Hathaway. Just wanted to show you a company that has been has been a great performer, but you might want to consider taking profits on this one right now. It's also in the fertilizer space. The symbol on this one is CF, and it is the stock of the day in the IBD. It has really moved strongly. I do expect a pullback. I do expect a pullback from this position. This is just, this has gone up too far too fast. But I do think that, and I don't think you can get into this one, but you can see where the strength is in this market. The market is telling us that it's commodity prices, oils, transport, and basically defense. That's where the market is headed. It's moving out of tech and some of the other stocks like that. So tech is doing poorly. Stocks with low PE ratios, especially in the commodity spaces like the oils, like the natural gases, those are doing well. So that is what the market has been telling us in terms of where we should be positioning our portfolios. Now, there is ways to make money in this market where you don't have to have stocks that go up, because this is a tale of two markets. On the one hand, we have great opportunities in the oils and in some of the commodity stocks, but we also have opportunities shorting some of the tech stocks that have moved up and been so powerful. I have 3 of these shorts. Basically, what I do is I don't short the stock directly. I use bear call spreads, and the first one I want to show you is a bear put spread. And this is on Lululemon. And, Lululemon is a great company. I have nothing against their yoga pants. I virtually very much like them, especially when they're on some beautiful model. That's always very nice for me. But I do expect Lululemon to get a lot weaker what we did with Lululemon is we bought the April 14th expiry 230 put, and then we simultaneously sold the 220. This took a little bit of out of our pocket, about $458. But because the stock has fallen, the expected value of this trade currently is about $180. So if this stock continues to fall, which we think is likely, we will pick up a maximum return in this particular trade of about $542 by the expiry, and that would be on April 15th. So April 14th, excuse me. So we do figure that we will see it move lower, and if it does, then it's likely that we will keep all the money on this one. So let's look at the Lululemon chart to kind of show you how we did this particular trade. So here's basically how it looks. Lululemon has moved down. Oh, it moved down even more significantly. We didn't expect it to move down this much after hours, but it moved down to 301. So actually, let's go back to the chart here and see. It does appear, that we're going to that this is even falling faster than we thought it was going to fall, and that indeed, unfortunately, for the people that are holding it long, is going to be very bad for them. But if you are part of the Lululemon trade, you are going to be doing very well for yourself, because when this slide was taken, the price was 304, and currently after hours it's 301, which is going to make the trade even more profitable quicker. So that is a Lululemon, and that's one of the trades that we do have. Now, not all of our trades are bear trades. We do have a bull trade on Rio Tinto, and Rio Tinto is a mining company. There is one of the areas that has been very strong in this reallocation has been to some of the mining companies. Now, what happened is this did fall a little bit today. We are still just barely below the green zone. We're going to have to do a reevaluation of this, but currently at 79.55, this is just barely in the green zone. So we may be closing this trade early or extending it a little bit on this one. We are basically about $40 below the waterline on this one, but remember, we did have a down day overall. The two other trades that I have in the in the options trades are a bear call spread on Tesla. Now, I am a Tesla bull, and I don't think that Tesla is going to remain down like it has been, but unfortunately, in the after hours, it has not fared very well for Tesla. And by having this bear trade on Tesla, we have been able to benefit from its movement down. Currently, the after hours price $797.67. When this was taken, it was $810. So we are in the green on this one as well. If you've been following, hopefully you have been following. Now, we had a special trade, a special bear trade today as well on Twilio. This one went out last night, and if you signed in for the on our email letter, this one went out. We showed everyone how we were going to make this trade today. This is Twilio, and the symbol on it is TW. I think it's TWLO is the symbol. That is correct. No, Twilio, that is correct. Twilio, unfortunately for the people that are holding this long, has moved down even lower today. After hours, it's at 139.24. This trade is basically, as you can see, it is already profitable and very likely to make all the money on this one. Why? Because the air has been coming out of the tire on the techs, and we've just been seeing many of these bear trades doing very, very well. If you're interested in some of these trades, you need to sign up for the Action Trade Alerts, and that's at www.dallastradingfloor.com. So I wanted to kind of say that. So if you'd like to take a look at the trade that we have going for Lululemon, this is the one that I do think is going to be do very, very well. You can absolutely take a look at this one. Super easy to do. Just go to this address, https://bit.ly/DTF0092. And this is a free trade, so you'll be able to see the slide deck with no additional cost. So normally, we don't do that. Normally, we do have a small fee for these trades, but right now, Lululemon, this one is a free trade. So I wanted to kind of point that out there. And if you're looking on TikTok, super easy to get the access to this trade. All you have to do is go to the profile, click on the link, and you'll see a button that you can push to get on that trade. So you can see how that Lululemon trade, that bear put spread, is doing. Also, because of this market, we wanted to put out there, we have a March 3rd ready list, and this is also available for our subscribers, the people that have gone out there. This is also available. Just go to https://bit.ly/DTF0094, and you ought to be able to see the ready list. This is the stocks that are getting ready, possibly as the market shifts. So we can definitely take a look at those. So without further ado, let's get to the questions. Thank you so much for waiting. And here's the first question. Yeah, thank you. By the way, you can subscribe to free trade alerts, https://bit.ly/DTF_subscribe. Okay, thank you. Is Facebook a buy right now? I would say no. Absolutely no. We don't want to be buying on the dips. Everyone is going to tell you to buy in the dips. I think that's what Kramer says. He is probably not right on this. This is a good short, though. It's not a good buy right now. So meta platforms, it's not a buy. Right now, you just don't want to be buying in this area. Remember, the market has changed. The market is moving away from the tech. So market is moving away from tech. So don't buy this one. Now, this might be shortable, though. That's something that we definitely have to look at. But right now, the market has moved away from tech. So just, I know this is tough because, you probably have never been in a market where everybody is selling tech and they're buying commodities. Well, that's the kind of market that we're in right now. So unfortunately, I would say no, don't buy Facebook right now. It is just not worth it. Let's take a look at TikTok. Thank you so much for everybody. Let's see. Remember we talked about OP last week, and today it's absolutely okay. Well, let's look at OP. I want to see what OP is. Oops. Let's take a look at OP. Ocean Pal. Well, yeah, it did, but this is a penny stock. So, I wouldn't risk it on this one. This is on a downward trend. So maybe it did move up. I definitely think, but I don't really, in this kind of environment, I want to be very careful about what I'm buying. I want to buy things that are probably going to do better than that. So let's look at LNG. LNG, this is one that I've had on my, this is one I've had for a while, called Cheniere. It's off a little bit after hours. It's off 1 cent after hours. But this is one I think I am very bullish on this stock. So this is a Cheniere. I had the wrong banner up there. This is Cheniere. And I want to show you, I started buying Cheniere as it moved above that 115.78 buy point, and then look, it just kind of has continued to move right up here. Currently, we're at 139, and we're doing very well on this one. I do think that it's not a good place. It's possibly what I'm going to be doing is raising my stop loss up because I'm up over 20%. I'm up over 20% on this one. So when you hit 20%, there's what they call the 20% sell rule. So if you've been with me for a while, you'll notice that what you want to do is it's called the 20% sell rule. And what is a good thing to do at this level is to calculate how much you have made on the stock. Now, I got into my first position at 114, and then I bought a little bit more. So I'm going to have to look at my average cost on this one, but I am likely to sell a position that will basically return my capital, but keep some of the keep the profit in the stock, because I do think it may go higher, but I want to reclaim my capital on Cheniere. This one is looking very good. LNG, of course, is the symbol there, so that's one we definitely want to look. Let's look at Cleveland Cliffs, CLF. This is one of the steel producers, and this has also been doing well. Not quite as well as LNG, but still very strong. And we definitely came out of a double bottom here. This is a very good pattern. We had a buy point 24.67. It's off a little bit after ours. I do think that this one is likely to be strong in the near future. Why? Because much of the steel that we were getting from the Russia, Ukraine, that kind of thing, we're going to see that not be as prominent. And I do think that we're going to see the domestic producers do much better than they have done in a very long time. So I do like Cleveland Cliffs. Let's take a look at their weekly. I want to look at their fundamentals. Normally I don't buy on fundamentals, but I have to say, with their ability to get some pricing control, look at that. They came through earnings and they did extremely well. Their profits up 642%. This is a steel maker. Can you believe it? This is a steel maker based in Cleveland, Ohio. It's doing great. And why? Well, because the market is just rewarding basic minerals and that kind of thing. So very, very strong. You could definitely buy this one. Let's take a look at I want to look at the checklist. It's an excellent checklist, 89. So you're not too late on this one if you want to get some exposure to the metals. And I do think that this is a good place to be. So, this is in a buy zone right now. So definitely buyable at this level. So CLF is buyable now. So really, this, based on the can slim, CLF is definitely buyable now. So it's a very good chart, and the fundamentals look good. So I think that we're going to have some very good numbers going forward from Cleveland Cliffs. Hard to believe that I would even recommend a steel maker, but there you go. That's how much the market has changed. All right, so let's go to TikTok and see what do you think about gold today? Yes, this is absolutely great question from TikTok. Because gold has moved over $2,000, I think we're going to see very strong demand, because the odd thing about the way the market works is as something goes up and goes to a higher high, that's typically the best place to buy something. And indeed, that's happened with gold. Now, there's a number of ways to play gold. I don't like to play the actual metal, but what I do like are some of the mining companies, and that's why I bought FNV today. Now, I bought it extended. I will be honest with you, I did not buy it at the proper buy point. The proper buy point, the proper buy point, and I've gotten burned on this. I've gotten burned on this numerous times. So the proper buy point for Franco Nevada gold was 160.64. It's 163. So I bought it above. I'm sorry, the correct buy point was 150. I bought it at 163. So I bought it extended. I'll be honest with you. And after hours is off a little bit, but I do believe because of the way this pattern looks with the double bottom and this former high at 163, this is actionable. This is actionable. Franklin, Nevada gold. It's a breakout. It's 200. It's 14%, 14.9% above the 200-day line. It's also almost 19% above the 50-day line. So what does this tell us? That's the question. What does this say? Well, what this says is there are a lot of people that are very interested in gold all of a sudden now that it's gone above 2,000 an ounce. Now, one of the things about gold is I do believe that we've seen gold, the price has been repressed because a lot of central banks, in order to cover their currencies, they've been selling. But I think we're going to see that taper off. And if that is true with this inflation, I don't necessarily think we could see $5,000 gold, but I think we might see very, very shortly $2,500 or $3,000 gold. I can't tell you exactly, but I do think that that's likely to happen. So in that case, companies like FNV, Franco Nevada Gold, are going to do well. Why? Because they own positions in other miners that are already producing. All right, let's look at Oxy. This is a big Permian. This was a big Permian Basin player. It has pulled back a little bit. This one, I don't know if you're familiar, but when in the last downturn, the president of this company, I can't remember her name, she made a big acquisition of land, of mineral rights in the Permian Basin. That's the premier area in the United States that produces oil. And unfortunately, the oil price went against her, and it went down to $34 a gallon, if you can believe that. It ended up, she went almost bankrupt and had to go to Warren Buffett. And Warren Buffett loaned her all kinds of money at 13.5%. I wish I could do that. But right now, with the value of the Permian, with the value of oil going up, these companies, what's old is new again. The question is, can you get into the oil and gas international explorers? Well, right now, this is the number one category in the market, is the international oil and gas explorers. And I want to kind of show that to you because there are several choices in this area where we might be able to find something that is going to work. Currently, the rank of the international oil and gas, it's number one. So I want to show that to you on the list. It's number one. This is where the market is saying it's going, and that is to the international oil and gas explorers. Now, who are these companies? We have to look at the top stocks to find out which of the stocks that we want to be looking at in this particular area. Well, one of them, of course, is Valero. Another one is one of them is Valero, of course. Then we've got OVV. This is also a smaller company. Let's look at OVV right now. I want to look at their stock. It's a little bit extended. You probably can't buy this one. Let's go back to Valero to see if we can possibly buy this one. This is an international oil and gas company based in San Antonio, Texas, and it's quite large. But it also is extended as well. Quite a good company. But I'm sorry, Valco Energy. Excuse me. I was saying Valero. This is Valco Energy. This is not a company I know a lot about, but it's a cheap one. $6.99. I want to look to see what their checklist is. Wow, that's a good checklist for a stock that's under $10, and it definitely is under $10. This is one maybe that you might want to watch list. I don't have this one currently, but this is kind of where we want to be looking. I'm gonna probably try to put out a list of actionable oil and gas companies to everybody that's on the Action Trade Alerts. Hopefully that you'll be able to see that. All right, let's look at one that probably isn't doing as well, and that's SE Limited. This one was a high flyer. This is a tech company, and I want to show you this chart. Just not a good chart to look at. This is what I'm talking about when it comes to the tech companies. They just aren't doing well. As you can see, this is being disinvested, and we have what they call the death cross. This is where the 50-day line crosses below the 200-day line, and it says, basically, it says to everyone that, hey, we are moving out of this issue. We are moving into something else, and right now, it's not looking good. The relative strength of this is 3. That means 97% of all the stocks in the market are doing better than this one. The question is, what do you do from here? Well, I'm going to put this on the short list. And what do I mean by the short list? Well, on the short list, these are ones that I'm looking to do bear call spreads on. Now, if we look at this one, it is just not doing very well. And if we look at, let's go back and in the Wayback Machine, let's go to the monthly chart and see, as you can see, we came all the way up here to almost $400 on the stock, and it has since lost 3/4 of its value. So the question is, can it go lower? Absolutely, it can go lower, and that's why this one might be a good one for the short list. I probably will be looking to do something like a short on this. Now, here's what I want to say, and hopefully don't just take this as a thread. If you're down more than 7% on the stock and you're long on it, you really just need to cut your losses, because this is where can kill you. When the market changes like this, when it moves from tech to, basically when it moves from tech to commodity-based stocks, this is where we got to be careful. So if you're down more than 7% on this one, just never let it go against you like that. So here's the thing on this. I just recommend, if you're down, I know this is hard, but it may come back, but it may not come back. Most of these ones don't come back when they've fallen this far. So I'll try to be upfront with you. Cut your losses, take it and move it into something, cycle it into something that is going to make a better, it's going to do better. All right. Let's look at Amazon. Okay. See, most of these stocks, let's look at Amazon. Now, Amazon probably, let's just look at the chart on Amazon. Amazon, has been a winner for forever and a day, but right now it's just the market is punishing the techs. I mean, that's just the long and the short of it. Now that the COVID thing is, now that the COVID thing is now that the COVID thing is moving lower, we've got an issue, and unfortunately, the price of Amazon probably will go down a little bit. Now, it's not going to go out of business, don't get me wrong, but there is the death cross on Amazon, so that's not looking good. What's happened is that it is in a downward trend. So when you have a stock that is in a downward trend, you just don't want to be long, and that's just the long and the short of it. You just don't want to be long. Currently, Amazon is 17% below the 200-day moving average. What that means is that Amazon is being disinvested in. So we got to be careful about that. Any thoughts on SE? Is it a buy? No. Please don't buy SE. Please don't buy it. The techs are not doing well. We don't want to buy on dips. Remember, buying on dips is for fools, because stocks, sometimes they don't ever recover. I'm not saying that's going to be the case with SE, but we got to be careful. So I'm not trying to offend anybody here, but don't buy SE. It's in a downward trend. It's in the short list, meaning that it's probably a good short. Let's look at BABA. This is also in the situation that SE is, where it is moving lower. So we probably don't want to be in Alibaba either. Let's take a look on the big screen to see kind of what the situation is for BABA. Well, the situation is dire for BABA. It made the death cross way back here in February of last year. So it has been in decline since that time. So we don't want to buy BABA. BABA is likely to be a short as well. Let's look at the history on BABA. And, if you were in it, if you're in it in 2020, you did great. But since that time, BABA has moved much, much lower. BABA at one time was $300 a share. It's currently $98 a share. It's lost 2/3 of its value. So that's probably why we don't want to be in BABA right now. Let's take a look at some of the other questions. Thank you, everybody, so much. All right. Jim, Delta got massacred. What stock is good? Well, the thing about Jay is we got to look to the oils. We got to look to the fertilizers. We got to look to the shipping companies. We're not going to see good results from the airlines because they depend on people traveling. Here are the groups that here's some of the groups that I think you want to look at. I'm going to take a look at Golden Ocean. This is a bulk shipper, GOLG, not Google, not GOOLG, but GOGL. This is Golden Ocean. This is a shipping company. Now it's been off a little bit, but let's take a look at the daily chart on it. And I want to show you this one right now. This is kind of where the action has been. The action has been in these odd stocks. This one is called Golden Ocean. I wouldn't necessarily buy it right now. The buy point was $10.05. It's $11. Very, very cheap stock, to be honest with you. But that's true in many of these commodity stocks. The bulk shippers are going to be doing better. So this is something that we got to look at. It just came through earnings. Now, interesting thing about this one, this had a mega dividend, okay? The dividend was so large. The dividend at $3.59. This has a PE ratio of 4, if you can believe that. So the price of the stock is $11 and the dividend is $3. Think about that. That's incredible. That's what's happening in this sector. So if we're looking for stocks that can make some money, we want to be looking in this particular sector, and that is bulk shippers. Very strange sector. It's the 14th out of 197. Bulk shippers. This is where we want to be looking. Let's see if we can come up. Let's see if I can come up with some good bulk shippers. Now, many of these companies are very small. A lot of them are based in Greece, and it's a weird area. But transportation ship has been a top area. So the one that I like right now is Eagle Bulk Shippers, EGLE. I don't own this one, but I am looking at it. Why? Because this one has a tremendous earning capability in this market. Now, it's expected that the bulk shipping area will be a massive area for profit for the next 2 years or so. So, right now, many of these stocks are moving. Now, Eagle Bulk Shipping, it's 61. It's extended, so I probably wouldn't buy it here. I'd wait for it to pull back here, but, there's a 52.06 buy point on this one. This is one you want to put on your list. Also, I'm going to try to put a list of shippers because these, in this bad market, are doing well. So it's a strange time. All you can. Mia, absolutely, I did sell Google. You are absolutely right. Let me show you where I sold it. You can't be right all the time, though a broken watch is right twice a day. I sold it. I mean, I sold it right here. I just said, okay, well, I was wrong. I was stopped out. I was stopped out at 8%. So, I try to eat my own dog food. I did sell it, and you're absolutely right. I sold Google. I moved. That was the last of my tech stocks, and I still think it's a great company, and I still do believe in it. But for now, I'm out of Google. I'm short Tesla, and I'm going long on some of the oils. So you're absolutely right. I am out of Google. I'm out of Google. XOM. Okay, this is Exxon Mobil. XOM. And of course, this is the pimp daddy of them all. This is the old Standard Oil Company. This, it's extended here, but I tell you, this next year is going to be, this is going to be a profit machine. There's absolutely no question about it. It's looking like, we're going to have very expensive gasoline, over $5, even here in Texas. It's over $7 in California. So ExxonMobil will do well. There's just no question about it. Can you buy it at this level? Well, I'd kind of like to wait for a little bit better entry point on this one, just because it is somewhat extended, but there was a 8308 kind of pivot. It's not a true pivot. I did have a bull put spread on, as you can see with my notes, I did have a bull put spread on this one that I did close as it moved up. So now it's making another leg up. This could very, very easily be a $100 stock. Now that's significant for ExxonMobil, because ExxonMobil on a split adjusted basis is never been above $100. So it's coming in on that number, as you can see. So wow, this is a good stock. And right now, this is your grandfather's stock. Matter of fact, the first stock I ever owned, it wasn't Exxon. It was a company called Texaco, which merged with Chevron, and now it was called Chevron Texaco, and then Texaco. I tell you, I had that stock for years, and I couldn't believe it. Every quarter, it would make money because it would pay dividends. So, not very exciting, but oil is not dead out there. Oil is not dead. All right, let's. It's going to be a rough week. Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're absolutely right. I think it's going to be rough. But you know what? The market is changing. It's moving to the commodities plays away from tech. There are opportunities. The opportunities are to be short some of the tech, the overpriced tech, which I'm going to be putting together that short list, and then to be going long other things. Wow, BA going to be delisted? I don't think so yet, but it is a fall from grace from Boeing. I do think that what is going to save Boeing's bacon, if there's anything it could be, is increased defense spending, primarily by the Europeans. The Boeing has not been has not been very, very good. I mean, I hate to say it. This used to be the premier stock of all premier stocks. This one, Boeing, was the largest exporter in the United States. No longer that is the case. It's got a relative strength of 26. That is tragic. But I do think increased defense spending might save the bacon of Boeing. As you can see, it was way up here at 400 in 2008. It's not really recovered. It came way down in the COVID crash, and then it gained up a little bit, but it's going to go back down again. So I think you're right. Unfortunately, I wish you weren't, but I think Boeing is in trouble. I think it's time for new management, Jay. I really believe you. I hope it's not going to be listed. I don't think it's going to be delisted. I think it'll be reorganized, but it's not looking good. You're absolutely right. All right. The Russian stocks are crashing. Do you reckon any? No, absolutely not. Don't be a bottom fisher, because here's the problem with Russia. Russia is not a capitalist country. All right. They pretend that they're a capitalist country. They have a stock market. They have all the trappings of a capitalist system. But really what it comes down to is that if Putin wants to take a company, he does. So I wouldn't be in any of the Russian stocks. They're going to be selling commodities, and it's just that's going to be the way it is. Unfortunately, just a tough go. Hey Troy, thank you for calling. Shorting PRG. Let's look at PRG. And what I'm going to do, hopefully, is I'm going to be putting together a show, or hopefully a masterclass in shorting. And so it's not ready to go yet, but I'm trying to put it together because this is a great opportunity, especially if you do it, if you short the way I like to short. Not saying that it's the best way, but it's a way you can limit some of your risk, and that's with some bear put and bear call spreads, because I really like them, because there's a lot of things that can be shorted. It's better to be safe rather than sorry, and try not to hit home runs, but hit singles in terms of the shorting. But do I like this one? Interesting company. PRG Holdings, and it's furniture stores. Wow. I just don't know enough about this one to say if this is a good short or not. It does have this good characteristic here. Let me show you that. And I do like the fact that you brought it to everybody's attention, Troy. Very nice. It has this drop. I do like it when this is a good shorting opportunity. You have the 21-day moving below the below the 50 line. This is a sign of weakness. As you can see, it dropped and then it recovered. It's trending back up. It's trying to hold on to the 10-day line, and it is moving down. So yeah, this one is probably a good short. It's not the classic. This isn't a classic short, but this is definitely going lower. So in a downward trending market like we are now, that is not a bad way to go. So let's do the last question because I'm getting on. I said it was only going to be 45 minutes. I get so excited that it could go an hour. But let's look at Tesla. With Tesla, this I do have a short on this one. I mean, it's a bear call spread, not a bear put spread. And as you can see, yeah, it's moving down and it moved below the 200-day line. Where is this going to go? Well, I don't think Tesla's going out of business. I'm not going to say that, but I do think that it's going to be adjusting a little bit. It's going to be adjusting a little bit, and I do think that we could come down. Basically, we could go as low as I think about 600 here, based on what I'm seeing in the long-term monthly chart. I do have a short on it, and it's doing fairly well. Let's see if I can pull up that short. Let's see, is that right? No, I'm sorry, that's Lululemon. Yeah, here we go. This is my short on Tesla, and we haven't been in it all that long, but this is saying it's at 810. Well, actually, it's lower than that. I'm going to have to readjust this, but as you can see, I do think this is going lower, and we could go as low as 600 on Tesla very, very easily. Well, thank you very much, everybody. Thank you so much. I didn't get to everybody's calls, but when you're doing puts, be very careful. I think spreads are better because they limit your risk, but I'll be talking about this more and more. Oh, also let's look at Delta Airlines. Very good. Thanks, Troy. Appreciate that. Delta Airlines. I love Delta Airlines. It's probably the strongest of the carriers, but this just shows you how weak it is in the group. It's just weak in this group. Look at this. It's just falling off the side of the mountain. And Troy definitely is right to bring this one up. I mean, this is a good company, and yet it is just falling down. Now, I wouldn't short this one probably, and the reason I wouldn't short this one, it's because there just isn't that much meat left on the bone. It's $30 a share here, and if we go back to the monthly chart, we'll see it had its high back here at about 60, so it's lost about 30% of its value. It could go lower. I mean, it could go down below 10, but I don't think that's going to happen. So I would be a little bit careful about shorting. Delta Airlines. I think there's some better candidates that we're going to give you more bang for the buck. They can drop a little bit lower. SE is definitely on that list. So there's some other really good things there. How long is the bear market going to last? Well, it can last as long as 3 years. It actually can last longer, but there are some bear markets that have gone on for 2 and 3 years. So it's not over yet. It's not over yet. We will see. Hopefully the Russians, hopefully we're going to get some kind of peace agreement. They won't blow up Ukraine. They won't stop killing people. I mean, I hope that that's going to happen. I really do. But I'm afraid, when these things get going and they get out of control, and that's definitely, we've got a dumpster fire over there, big time. It can get ugly. So, I mean, this could take the economy, this could take the world economy down for, several years. I mean, seriously. So we just have to get in the just change mode. We have to move to commodity stocks away from tech, at least for right now. We have to get into the mindset of possibly doing shorting, either shorting them directly or using spreads. And I like to use spreads to do that. Well, thank you everybody so much. If you want to get on the Action Trade Alerts, super easy to do. All you have to do is go to www.Dallas Trading Floor, and it's free, of course. And then we do have two services. We have the Discord room where we start the trade day basically at 8:30 Central. And then we also have, from time to time, we do individual trades, such as the trade that we did today on Twilio as well. So thank you, everybody. I'm here basically at 5 o'clock Central time, and we try to go and go through as many questions as we can within an hour. Usually it's 45 minutes, but sometimes it goes a little bit over. So thanks, everybody. Thanks for, by the way, I just want to ask, and if you can help me with this always is really great. Please like this, because it gets us out to a lot of people. We're getting better known out there. We have a lot of followers on TikTok. We have followers on YouTube as well. We want to get out to more people, because there are good ways to make money in this market. People just shouldn't be losing money because they're doing the same things that they were doing a year ago. So hopefully we can, we can all benefit from this. I know that I definitely have, and I'm going to try to push this out as much as I can to everybody. So please like this and tell people about it, so that they can get part of the family here. Anyways, so I will be back tomorrow at 5. Thanks again, everybody. Happy trading.